Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory gets announced for 4K. Will Zack Snyder's Justice League be coming to physical media next month? And 420 has come early, guys, as How High hits Blu-ray this week in stores and online. All this and more in the latest physical media report. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Ken and welcome back to this week's edition of the Physical Media Report. This is episode 51. That is right, guys. We are 1 week away from my 1 year anniversary of this show, and I have a special announcement for episode 52 that I will reveal at the end of this episode, so definitely stay tuned for that. And also, if you haven't yet, if this is your first time discovering me on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more great content. I do all kinds of stuff on this channel centered around the world of physical media, movies, entertainment, you name it, I do it on this channel. Blu-ray hunts, movie reviews, disc reviews, Blu-ray and 4K reviews. I do this weekly rundown every single week. I do thrifting vlogs where I take you all into various like Goodwills and pawn shops and show you all what they got. I go do Dollar General hauls. All kinds of content on this channel, weekly live streams. I did a live stream last night where we all got together as a community and talked about Godzilla vs. King Kong, reacted to the new Space Jam trailer, just tons of amazing, awesome content. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that like button, guys. Every single like will help this video out, help it move up those YouTube algorithms and allow more eyes on it. And be sure to leave a comment down below. Anything that we discussed today that you're excited for, whether it be in the coming months, whether it be this week that's coming out, leave it in the comment section below. And also be sure to turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, because we've got some pretty big announcements this week. As for the new releases this week, it's a little bit dry, but there is some interesting stuff to dig into, but we'll get into that later on in the video. Let's start off with the rumors, guys. We always start with the rumors, and there's always some really interesting, awesome rumors to talk about. And the first one that we're going to talk about is a movie that just came out on HBO Max a couple of weeks ago. The movie that lit the internet on fire, the world of YouTube. Everybody was reacting to it. Everybody was talking about it. It was Zack Snyder's Justice League. And of course, this came out on HBO Max. It was the 4-hour cut of the original Justice League that came out in 2017. So this apparently is being rumored for 4K. I think we all knew it was probably going to come to physical media at some point. I just didn't realize it would be this soon. I thought HBO Max would hold on to this as an exclusive for a while. So this is supposed to hit store shelves on May the 21st. Coming out from Warner Brothers. I'm sure it'll probably get a Blu-ray release as well, but no details on that as of right now. Just the 4K release. This, of course, is being reported by the rumor master on Instagram, Geek Gab, is where I first saw this. So, yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Are you excited for a physical media 4K copy? I think I might actually buy this Zack Snyder's Justice League, even though I was very much against the idea of the film coming out beforehand. But I've talked about it on this channel on my live streams. I actually enjoyed the film. I actually liked it. So I might actually pick this up in 4K. But are you planning on picking this up in 4K? Be sure to comment down below just your excitement level, your thoughts on the movie, all that good stuff. So let's get into the next rumor, guys. And this is in the line of fire. Now, I've seen this in the Bluray.com forums. So I'm pretty sure that this is pretty much a guarantee to come out on June the 15th from Sony. This, of course, is a Clint Eastwood film starring in the movie. It's got a bunch of other notable actors as well. I've never seen this movie before, so I might actually pick this one up just as a blind buy and check it out. I don't know. Let me know if this is a good movie. This is a classic that I should have watched. Yeah, if you're a fan of the movie, comment that down below. So that does it for the rumors, guys. Let's get into the announcements this week because we got one huge announcement that I am so excited for, and it's something that I talked about earlier this year, but it's actually been announced. It's on Bluray.com. We've got the cover art for it on Bluray.com. So let's get into it, guys. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is coming to 4K from Warner Brothers on June the 29th. So super exciting news, guys. If you've been following me on this channel for any length of time on Instagram, you will know how big of a fan of this movie I am. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's probably like in the top 25. Absolutely love this movie. Absolutely iconic performance by Gene Wilder. It's a great musical. It has great music, just great comedy in it. Gene Wilder is absolutely hilarious. It's just a classic from my childhood. I grew up watching this movie. I watched it last year again for like the first time in probably 10 years, and it's still just held up so incredibly well. And I think that it's going to look amazing in 4K. I think that when you first enter that chocolate factory and you see all of the colors and the food and everything, when they do that first sequence inside the chocolate factory, the chocolate river, the Oompa Loompas dancing, going through that tunnel, I think all of that's just going to look freaking so amazing and vivid and wonderful. And I just cannot wait to experience this movie in 4K. So we do not have to wait long, guys. This is coming out in a little less than 3 months. So definitely get excited. Are you a fan of this news? Are you excited for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Leave that in that comment section below. The next one up, guys, is a movie that I actually got to go see in theaters last week. Nobody is coming to Blu-ray and 4K on June the 15th from Universal. This is one that I'm actually surprised is getting a 4K. Some of these kind of lower tier titles don't always get the 4K. So, but I am excited for it to get a 4K because I actually think it'll look really awesome in 4K. And you know, all the John Wick movies are in 4K, and I would put this up there in the same ballpark as the John Wick film. So yeah, glad that nobody is getting a 4K, and I'm probably going to end up picking this up because I really did enjoy the movie. Go check out the vlog that I did with my wife where we went out and the first time back in the theaters to kind of see a little bit more of my thoughts on that film. So another announcement, guys, and this was announced I think moments after I put last week's physical media up, but there are new Paramount Steelbooks coming on June the 8th. We've got Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a 35th anniversary steelbook, Pretty in Pink, and Some Kind of Wonderful, all getting exclusive steelbooks. I don't think these are exclusive to any stores. I'm not sure if we'll be able to pick them up in Best Buy or FYE, or if they'll just be available on Amazon. But these are steelbooks that are coming out for $15 a pop, so not a bad price on June the 8th. So yeah, that's exciting news. And anything for Jackson, which is a Shudder RLJE title, is coming out on Blu-ray on June the 15th. So I'm always excited for new RLJE Shudder team-up exclusives because I think that they do great work with their Blu-rays, and I like picking them up. I enjoy picking up those new releases from RLJE. So I don't know too much about this film, but I might actually pick it up. Deliver Us from Evil, guys, is coming out on May the 21st. Don't really know too much about this film from Wellgo USA. One Cut of the Dead. Now this one's actually interesting. This was a kind of a found footage zombie film that I actually haven't seen yet, that came out, I believe in 2019 is when this first came out. This is getting a Hollywood edition from Third Window Films, with a British physical media company, on May the 31st. Now, what's interesting about this is it includes the first cut of One Cut of the Dead, and then there's also an hour long, I don't know if this is like a new cut or an entirely new film. It wasn't really clear when I was looking into it, but it feels like it's like an addition, like a new film add-on to this story. Which, if that's true, it's actually kind of cool, kind of like a sequel, kind of like a 1.5 sequel to One Cut of the Dead. And I guess this is set in Hollywood, and it's supposed to have a lot of the same actors from that original film in it. So yeah, exciting that not only for the new release and new exclusive, but the fact that it actually has a new movie inside of it as well is actually pretty cool. So again, I could be totally wrong about this, but when I was looking at it, it said that there was the actual movie that was included in it that was about 90 minutes, and then it said that the new Hollywood Cuts edition was 59 minutes that was included in this release as well. So it looked like two different movies included in this set. So definitely cool stuff, guys. Spare Parts, another RLJE release, which looks to be some kind of a sci-fi genre film, comes out on June the 1st. Which is another one that looks very interesting. Above Suspicion, which is a movie starring Emilia Clarke, is coming out from Lionsgate on May the 18th. Don't know too much about this film. There was a trailer, but I didn't watch it. So yeah, hopefully it gets good reviews, and I'll check this out. I do like Emilia Clarke as Daenerys from Game of Thrones, but she hasn't really reached that level of star actress in the movie world just yet. But definitely interested in checking it out if she's attached to it. Let's get into the deals this week, guys, because we've actually got some pretty awesome deals to talk about this week for you guys. And you know, I'm going to give you the spiel here at the Mid-Level Media channel. You know, we know times are tough. You can't go out every single week and spend $300 to $400 on new physical media releases. You got to wait sometimes. You got to pick your spots. And I am here right now, guys, to kind of point those out to you and show you your openings for saving $1. So let's get into these deals, guys, because there's honestly some really good ones that I might partake in this week as well. The Grand Budapest Blu-ray, guys, is a really great Wes Anderson film from the past few years. It's one of his more recent releases. I believe came out in 2014, which was just a spectacular year for film. That is only $3.99 right now on Blu-ray. Absolutely recommend you guys picking this up. I know it has a Criterion. I might actually get that Criterion during the sale. But to just own this on Blu-ray, it would still be great. It's a great film, to be honest. So $3.99, not a bad price at all. I already own the Blu-ray of it, so not going to pick that up. But if you don't own this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, $3.99 is a great price. Absolutely recommend that you check it out. Dick Tracy, guys, is one that I'm actually debating on picking up for $5.99 because I have not seen this movie since I was a kid. So I might actually be interested in checking this one out again. But A Mad, Mad World, the Criterion is $20.80 right now. So that's a good price for a Criterion. Still haven't seen this movie, but I do own that one on Blu-ray as well, so I need to check that out at some point. WALL-E on 4K, guys, is $17.99, and we actually have a bunch of other Disney 4Ks, which I'll talk about here in a second. Pearl Harbor on Blu-ray is another one I'm contemplating picking up. Michael Bay film that I actually remember liking quite a bit. I remember feeling like kind of a spiritual successor to Titanic, not being as good. The performances and acting is not as strong. But I do remember enjoying this movie for like the battle sequences and stuff, and when Pearl Harbor actually happens. Just the whole love triangle thing that happens before it is kind of ridiculous, but I think that the battle sequences in this movie are really good and very well directed by Michael Bay. So I might actually pick this up just to own it because I don't have this movie and I do remember enjoying it when it came out. Son of Kong, guys, we're on the King Kong and Godzilla kick right now. $14.97 on Blu-ray. Definitely not a bad price at all if you want to own some of these older monster flicks, so definitely check that out. Neighbors, the comedy from 2014, is only $5 on Blu-ray, so definitely not a bad price for that. And we also have more Disney Pixar films on 4K, guys, for $17.99. Let's run them down. Monsters, Inc., Coco, Up, Ratatouille, Finding Nemo, A Bug's Life, and Cars 2 are all on 4K right now, guys, for $17.99. So these all came out in 4K about 2 years ago for, I believe, $30. So if you have been holding off on picking these up and you want these Disney releases in 4K, this is probably the best price that you're going to get for them. I can't see them going down too much lower than this, but I could be wrong. They could be $15 next week, but definitely a great price for these 4K releases right here. So another one that I really want to pick up, but it's not a great price, but I guess it's pretty good for this release. The Rock, which is the classic Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery film from 1996. A lot of people call it one of the better action films of the 90s, is $7.80 right now, guys, on Amazon. So like I said, not as good of a price as Pearl Harbor, as Dick Tracy, as Tombstone was a couple of weeks ago when it came out, but I might actually pick this up because I have not seen this movie in quite some time. I don't think it's on streaming right now. I'm gonna have to check that out to confirm. So this might be one of the only ways to watch it without having to rent it. So I think that I'm definitely interested in picking this one up for sure, because it is a movie that I want to watch again, starring Nicolas Cage, and it's one of his better movies. So $7.80 for The Rock on Blu-ray right now, guys. Warm Bodies 4K is $15.30. I remember that watching this when it first came out and thinking it was okay, but if you are into this movie and you want the 4K release, that's a pretty good price for a new 4K. Psycho Goreman, which I'm actually kind of disappointed in this because I just paid $16.99 for this. Now it is $14.99 on Amazon, a full $2 drop for Psycho Goreman, but I saw the movie. It's a really fun kind of cult, trauma-inspired monster flick that kind of feels a little bit like an episode of Power Rangers as well. It's just a lot of weird different things rolled into one. I have a review on this channel that you can go check out, but I also unboxed this on my March Blu-ray haul if you guys haven't checked that one out yet. So the cool thing about this release is it does have, in addition to some really awesome special features, it has reversible cover art. So I love that RLJE is starting to do that reversible cover art, and it is really awesome reversible cover art. So I say it's probably definitely worth it if you're a fan of this movie to pick it up at $15 just for that alone. So with that, guys, those are the deals. Let's now get into what is new this week. And like I said, not a whole lot of big notable titles coming out this week. We don't have the flashy titles like Wonder Woman 1984, The Ten Commandments, or Godzilla 4K, or Soul in 4K this week. It's kind of dying down a little bit, and to be honest, looking forward, in the month of April, it looks like it's going to be a pretty lackluster month until we get to that final week where things will pick up a little bit. So Shadow in the Clouds is coming out on Blu-ray from Vertical Entertainment for a pretty good price of $14.96. This is the movie, kind of like a monster World War II movie that came out at the beginning of the year, starring Chloe Grace Moretz. I did check this out on VOD. I actually paid $20 to watch this because it was like one of the first big new releases of the year, and I was trying to watch some new movies at the beginning of the year. I thought this movie was good. It definitely shifted tones very dramatically, like right in the middle. I think I enjoyed the first half a little bit more than the second, even though I probably should have enjoyed the second half more because more of the monster stuff was in the second. But I liked the way that it was set up. I just didn't like the way it was paid off, and I just felt like it was a jarring shift in genre tones there. But I did enjoy this movie, and for $14.96, if you haven't seen this movie, I would still recommend a blind buy purchase because that's a good price for a new Blu-ray right there. And I did think it was a decent movie. It was a decent watch if you like those monster type movies. Barb and Star Go to Vista de Mar is coming out from Lionsgate tomorrow for $14.96 for the regular Blu-ray. This is also getting a Target lenticular slipcover, which is interesting. You don't always see that with these like smaller tier titles. And it's getting exclusive bonus content with it as well. So that's kind of interesting. This is a comedy that came out starring Kristen Wiig, I think back in February. I haven't got a chance to check out yet. I don't think I'll be buying the physical media version of this. I might be renting it or redboxing it or something to check it out. But yeah, coming out tomorrow with an exclusive Target release that hopefully we'll be able to see in stores tomorrow. How high, guys? And like I said, this is a missed opportunity. This movie should have came out on April 20th. That's besides the point. This is coming out on Blu-ray tomorrow from Universal, a catalog release for $21.99, which feels like a bit of a steep price for my taste. I think it should have been about $14.99 for this, but who knows? Maybe it sells well. I know a lot of people are very nostalgic for this comedy. I think it's a decent comedy from the early 2000s. I don't think it's necessarily great. It's not one of my favorites, but I think it's fine. I don't think I'm going to pick it up for $21.99, but who knows? If I see it in stores and it's a better price than that, maybe I will grab it. Rollerball is coming out from Scorpion for $19.99. The interesting thing about this release is it seems to only be like a UK only release when you get on Amazon, but it's not showing that on Blu-ray.com. It's showing it as a regular release, but it's also not giving a link to anywhere to buy it on there either. So right now I looked on Amazon, it's $19.99, but it is a UK Region B release only. So if you want Rollerball, I think that's the only way that you can buy it as of right now. But again, I didn't do my full research into all the different outlets that could be selling this. So it might be going on BestBuy.com, the American release, but I just thought that was something that was worth noting. Sleepless, which is an Argento film, is also getting a Scorpion release for $19.99. The Killer Elite is also getting a Scorpion release for $19.99 as well. Tremors on 4K Blu-ray is getting a re-release. Of course, this title came back in December, which is interesting that this is coming out this week because it's perfect timing. I just did a review of the 4K release of the Tremors that you guys can go check out to see my full thoughts on. But yeah, this is getting re-released. The 4K is $49.99, which is a very steep price for a 4K in my opinion. The Blu-ray is $39.99, which is even steeper because it is a Blu-ray release. Hopefully they're both like in that cool packaging because I think that's the big selling point when it comes to this Tremors 4K set. But exciting that this is getting a re-release because I know it's been sold out, so I'm glad it's getting ready to come back into circulation. And still, I did my review of it. I absolutely recommend this release. Even at the $50 price point, I would recommend picking this up. I don't know about $40 for a Blu-ray, but definitely $50 for the 4K I think is worth it for everything that this release includes, just with like hours and hours of new special features, not old special features, but new special features. So definitely recommend it. Earwig and the Witch is coming out from Shout Factory, which is the anime movie that came out earlier this year, Studio Ghibli. Don't know too much about it. For $19.99, the regular Shout Factory, and it's also getting a steelbook that we'll likely see in Best Buy tomorrow. They usually have these for $24.99. The Reckoning, directed by Neil Marshall, who did The Descent, who did Dog Soldiers, who did the more recent Hellboy reboot, which is not as good, but he's definitely made some great horror movies in the past. This is getting an RLJE release, and one that I'm kind of on the fence about picking up tomorrow because I'd like to review it for you guys. I've also heard some not so good things about it. So yeah, not sure if I'm going to pick it up. I'll see what if it's like $12.99 in stores and Best Buy, like a lot of these RLJE titles tend to be, I might go ahead and pick this up tomorrow. Thundar and the Barbarian is getting a Warner Archive release for $24.99, the entire season of that. Tap Roots is getting a Blu-ray release from Universal for $21.99, another catalog release. A movie from the 40s, I believe. The Last Days, which is a documentary from 1998, is getting another Universal catalog release for $21.98 as well. These are very pricey releases from Universal, might I add. Little Miss Marker, which is a 1980 film, is coming from Universal for $21.98 as well. Blast Fighter is getting a Code Red released for $19.99, and we've got some brand new Kino Lorber titles to talk about for you guys today. Surprise, surprise, the most consistent physical media distributor that we talk about on this show. Carol Lombard Part 2 collection is coming out as a 3-film collection for $34.99, which includes Love Before Breakfast, Hands Across the Table, The Princess Comes Across, and we also get Western Classics, a Part 2 collection as well for $34.99. The Redhead from Wyoming, Pillars of the Sky, Gun for a Coward, all coming out in that collection. And we also get some standalone releases as well. The Delicious Little Devil, which is a film from 1919. That's kind of interesting. For $19.99. The Man in Search of His Murderer from 1931 is a $19.99 release as well from Kino Lorber. So two very much older titles coming out from Kino Lorber. We also have an Arrow release coming out this week as well, guys. So that is exciting. Some really cool cover art on this one. Death Has Blue Eyes is coming out for $27.99. And with that, guys, we have covered everything that is coming out this week in stores and online. Definitely a lot of stuff to get excited for if you're a fan of these more boutique, kind of under the radar distribution companies, but not a whole lot of those big mainstream titles that we're going to be seeing in stores this week. But again, guys, thank you for joining me this week on the Physical Media Report, episode 51. Again, next week will be episode 52, my 1-year anniversary, and I want to do something special with that show to kind of commemorate and celebrate my 1-year anniversary with it, because like I said, I have not missed 1 week of this show since starting to do it last April. So yeah, episode 52 is going to be special because I'm going to be doing it live. That is right, we are going to be doing a live Physical Media Report next week. Not a ton coming out next week as far as like in-store releases. So we're kind of just going to get together and hopefully there'll be some people that join. I'm going to do it at probably about 2:00 p.m. So it'll be in the day and not at night. So if you can join live, definitely do so. You know, we can talk physical media, ask me questions in the chat. We can cover the new releases, the announcements, the rumors, the deals, pretty much all the same stuff that we do on this show, but it will be live next week and I will get to interact with you guys. This is not something that I'm going to start doing going forward, but it is something that I just want to do for that 1-year anniversary to kind of celebrate the occasion and 1 year of this show. So episode 52 next week, guys, will be live Monday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely join me there. And with that, guys, we are done with this week's episode of Physical Media Report. Please like, comment down below what you're excited for, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and we'll see you next time.